Hi, this is Erica DELSIGNORE. I am the founder of Daily Lead Campaign, and I would like to welcome you to our interview series, Great Minds, Great Marketing, where I find the most incredible entrepreneurs to interview and share with us their knowledge on what they do to bring in leads, new customers, and new revenue faster through marketing. And so today I have someone very special with us. And what I would like to say before we get started with Brian is just to watch for more of these Great Minds, Great Marketing interviews series coming up. We'll be posting them on all of our social media. And if you would like to get my latest book, 7 Sizzling Secret Video Marketing Tactics, you can just go to my website at dailyleadcampaign.com and just go to the free stuff tab. So that's FREE dash stuff. And so in the editing, I'm going to be putting that link up there and you can get it. So let's get started with our interview with Brian. Okay, so Brian Hahn is an incredible entrepreneur. He has been working several different businesses in his life. This one called Go Social Experts is focusing on helping people get leads through Facebook and in turn get new clients and new revenue for their businesses. And he's been doing this for quite a while now. We're going to find out more about how he's been successful for his own business and also how he's helped other clients of his become successful by helping them grow their business. Brian, I want to welcome you. Thank you very much for coming on the show today. I love what you do, and we collaborate a lot on different ideas, so I really appreciate you being one of my first guests.
You're welcome, and it's great to be here with you, Erica.
Thank you. I should put this down. All right, great. So I wanted to start off by getting to know you a little bit as a person. So, first, just tell us about your business a little bit, how long you've been in business, and I also want to know, what you do for fun.
Okay. I've been in business we're working on our 5th year now of being Go Social Experts. I've been an entrepreneur for most of my life, basically. I've either worked for my family or myself my entire life. So so it's hard for me to compare what not being an entrepreneur is. I don't know what it is to be. Even when I was working for my folks, I had businesses on the side. So before we bought them out. So that's been a little bit of a curious there. What do I do for fun? Well, it depends on the season. We like to do outdoor things. We camp. We live on a lake, so we do quite a bit of boating. We travel. Usually with a travel trailer in the summertime, or we fly and tour otherwise. So, and if we can do it outdoors.
You're in Minnesota.
I'm in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, right. I don't know why I always think Minnesota.
I fly out of Minneapolis.
They're both cold.
Yeah, they're both cold. There's not a lot of difference.
They're both cold.
True. So we ski this time of year.
Oh, good.
Yep,
excellent.
Yep.
Fantastic. Now, can you tell us about your most recent businesses and how you got started in them? Because I know you've had 2 going for quite a while, and are you down to 1 now?
Nope, I've still got 2 going. Go Social Experts. Yep, I spend most of my time at Go Social Experts. I've been doing that for, like I said, going on 5 years on that particular one. And the other one that I've got currently, my other bigger business is my sister and I own some Dairy Queen restaurants. So I spent some time with them too.
I have fond memories of Dairy Queen. We had one not even 1/10 of a mile from my house. So the big treat after school was to get some change together and go down and get a coffee milkshake. I love them. I'm over that addiction now.
We'll have to find a new item for you.
Exactly. I'm not a good customer anymore.
Okay.
But I used to be a great customer when I was a kid. Well, that's good. Can you tell us, so how did you get started in them, though?
In the dairy, which one do you want to know about? Either or both?
Yeah, why
In,
don't you? If you've got a really good story on both, I'll take both.
well, it kind of you evolved into it. We ended up starting with a Dairy Queen because we needed the land that the building was sitting on. We bought our first Dairy Queen for we owned another business next door, a grocery store, and we needed the land to expand the grocery store. So we bought the Dairy Queen and kept that, and we've grown the Dairy Queen since then. For that, the grocery store's no longer with us, but the Dairy Queens all are. So that's we got in the Dairy Queen business because we needed land, and then it turned out to be a good business, so we
Wow.
stayed in it. So that was back in 27 years ago now. So it's been a while.
How many stores? How many
We
stores do
have
you guys
five
have
Dairy,
now?
we have five Dairy Queens now.
That's a
So
lot of ice cream.
that's a lot of ice cream. A lot of cases of mix in the summertime, especially. A little slower
There
this
you
time of year
go.
up here. I keep telling people
Yeah.
in the wintertime it's great. You can go buy a large blizzard. You can bring it outside. Take your time eating it. It won't melt, but it doesn't seem to help the sales any. So
It's a good idea.
yes, yes.
Uh,
And then
I'm not
Go
falling
Social
for
Experts. Yep. Go Social Experts. I was using Facebook marketing in the grocery business, and we were having some success with that, and some other things changed around it. So we left the grocery business and went into social media marketing. That's the short story for it. So, but we started doing that. I've been working with Facebook for going on 6 years now. I'm going to say in one way or another full time for the going five, probably 7 years. Time flies when you're having fun.
I
2009,
guess so.
2010. Yes.
So, is there a certain type of customer that you work with?
It depends. We offer everything from training services where we'll teach people that want to learn how to use Facebook. We have an online training program that's relatively inexpensive. Um, so we will teach you how to do that way, or we will coach you how to do it, or we actually do it for you. So if you're a done for you client, you tend to have a larger audience in a bigger city or bigger, wider audience. If someone in a small town in Wisconsin would be hard pressed to recommend that they should hire me to do their work for them. I can train them and coach them, but their business isn't big enough for it, or their audience isn't big enough to justify the cost. So anyone, but if you're in
Yeah.
a city, a major city, or if you're regional or national, our services work for you. And we have an eclectic mix of clients. How's that?
That's good. I mean, I know exactly. I think that what you do can work for any business. It just depends on the spin and strategy that you have to put on it.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
perfect.
And
So,
there's, go ahead.
go ahead.
I said there's different
No, you go
tactics.
ahead.
Okay. There are different
What's
tactics you
different
can use
tag?
depending on who you're trying, what market you're using. So we adjust it. We basically customize what we do for the client that we're working with. So there's if you're a franchise, and we work with some franchises that outside of my own Dairy Queen experience, but with other franchisees, a lot of
Mhm.
franchisors have rules of what you can do, and there's some restrictions, but yet there's still strategies that make it work very well for them also. So we were working with one yesterday. I was working with one of my clients, and we were looking at their cost per lead off of Facebook versus their cost per lead on Facebook, and the cost per lead on Facebook was half what the cost per lead off
Right.
Facebook was. So it's been successful for them,
Well,
even though
stamps
they're
are
franchisors.
expensive.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Exactly. Well, that's good. Let's see. Um, so this is starting off with a kind of early in the interview with a tough question, but
Okay.
I think that everybody loves to hear about a challenge, a business challenge that you might have had that you could either have turned around or not,
Right.
but there's always a lesson.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's a misconception for people that are not entrepreneurs that, if you own a business, then you must obviously be successful. And I think for most business owners, it's the opposite. It's like, oh, you own a business, and it's a struggle every day to make sure that, if you are successful, you stay successful, or, everything might have just changed on you, and you've got to turn things around, or maybe you're just starting off and getting things going. So I'd love to hear, whichever story you want to tell is fine, but some kind of challenge that we can all learn from in your entrepreneurial life.
Sure, sure. And there's lots of them. So I mean, it's not with the 30 some years of experience of being an entrepreneur. There's lots and lots of stories to tell about that. Probably the one, and I'll tell one that it didn't turn around in the end for many different reasons about it. It was the single most impactful one. Whenever you're an entrepreneur, there are always challenges, and the key is to, when you're going through the challenge, not to get to the point where you can't get out of it. Now, to be fair, you can always get out of something, but it's how much pain it is to get out of it if you stay in it too long. The problem was that grocery store that I mentioned that we needed the land next to it back in 1990. Well, by 2000 and what was it, 8, 9, 10? So it was 20 years later, and we had the store before 1990 quite a while. I had taken over from my folks in the late 90s, and then the state rerouted traffic away from us. So that's why I got into Facebook marketing in the beginning. We were using email marketing and traditional marketing, which wasn't working as well. So we got into Facebook, primarily Facebook at the time. It still is the biggest.
They literally routed the traffic away from you?
Yep. It was
we were on road traffic?
The road traffic. We went from 33,000 cars a day by our business to under 10,000 cars a day by our business. So it was 23,000 cars a day. It was a little bit of a struggle. And we tried a lot of different things along the way, but finally we just said, with what we would have had to invest to make it all work, we finally said it was enough. And the key is we probably held on to that longer than we should have. I'm a little stubborn, and I kept thinking that I could make it work, and it would have saved me a lot of money if I was a couple of years earlier. So
you have to be stubborn to be an entrepreneur.
You do, but you have to know when to say stop too. I mean, it was, and there's that balancing point. Is this the time to say stop or not? And you'll know when you get there. So.
Well, it's interesting that your particular story has to do with real physical traffic. Mm-hmm. You went from having real physical traffic and having an issue getting real physical traffic with cars to cyber traffic and being able to control that cyber traffic. That's a really cool situation, I think.
It is. It's a lot easier to control cyber traffic, by the way.
No kidding. Those cars weigh a ton or two each.
They do. They do. Yes,
They're
they do.
hard to carry.
And it's hard to move your business to be in front of the people, where with the cyber traffic you can figure out how to get in front of the people when they're there. So that makes a difference. So, yes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the challenge, and you ended up shutting it.
We ended up shutting it down in the end. And now that I look back on it, it was the best thing that we had ever done. But it was the right decision to make at the time to do that. It was a hard thing, though. I had to call my folks. They'd started the store 20, almost 30. We were in business over 30 years, so they'd started the store 30 years earlier, and call and say, well, we were closing it down. So, and it was time, and they knew it too.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
That was a tough thing.
I'm glad that sounds like a tough one, but I'm glad that you were able to find that challenge and make it through.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about some marketing. With what I do, I actually work with a lot of different platforms, using the same strategy, but spreading it out throughout the different platforms. So we'll take a blog and we'll put it on 50 different LinkedIn groups. We'll put it on the LinkedIn regular news page. We'll put it on your personal page, your business page, and then we'll bring that same blog over to Facebook, and we'll do the same thing there. So it's an exciting tactic, but that's just one. And as long as we always have a call to action on everything we do, I think that it will all work. So there's that strategy, and we do email strategies, and we do there's a lot of video marketing strategies you can do on the YouTube side with optimizing. So those are the types of things we do for people. We have everybody wants a different combination, and certain ones work better for others in different situations. It's amazing how if you have the wrong audience, none of those strategies are going to work. So
very true.
I want to know, I know there's a lot of Facebook strategies, even just within Facebook advertising. What are some of the strategy combinations that you've seen work well together?
One of them that has been working really well, by the way, which ties in with the videos that you do, is video marketing on Facebook has been incredible, both in the results right away when we're running an ad, and also in the fact of the residual branding that you get. Uh, People will recognize your message and recognize you because they saw you. And you could be your image and your business, or it could be you personally. But taking the videos that you make and using them on Facebook is a great tool. And with the right call to action and where you want to send people to, you'll get people to go right from the video. Then you take it and you target the people that watch the video or a percentage of the video with a secondary offer. It could be an offer for the same offer, but with a different type of an ad. I don't usually like to use I don't use videos as much for the second ad as I do for the first ad. A picture, an appropriate picture for what you're advertising with a call to action will get people to click on that link and go to what you want them to do faster than anything else. That's been the widespread, most successful. We've rolled that out for quite a few clients over the last 6 months. And we were experimenting before that, but we've gone very heavily into the last 6 months, and we've gotten good results where we've used it.
Oh, fantastic. And so what are the kinds of things that you're trying to make people click on? Like, what are there's this, there's lead magnets is what
Right.
I call them, and I know that a lot of people do. On Facebook, what is a lead magnet? You can define it, and we both know what it is, but and then let me know, like, what are some of the ones that are really working for Facebook?
Okay. Lead magnets are going to be something of value that you give somebody in exchange for their, usually for their contact information, either their email address, most commonly their email address. If you're mailing out a physical one, it could be your physical address also for it. What's been working on Facebook has been shorter. Traditionally, it was a free report was kind of a standard item that people would opt in to get a free report. The free reports aren't working as well. Checklists are working great. Cheat sheets are working great. Video series are doing good with it. If you're going to the right audience, a webinar works well. What I mean by right audience is a webinar is more of a commitment from your viewers in terms of time. So if it's somebody that already knows you and has consumed some of your other content, a webinar is good. But for an audience that's never heard of you, a webinar is sometimes a bit of a struggle to do that, to get them to sign up and commit that hour or hour and a half to do the webinar for it. So those are the ones that have been the best. For a short lead magnet, the checklist and the cheat sheet have probably been the best ones recently.
Oh, really? So something small.
Yep, something small. Something they consume in 5 minutes or less.
Okay. Well, that's really good information for the audience, because I know people have tried everything, the video series and books and like you mentioned, webinars. Time commitments are definitely a problem now with, people just feel like they're running out of time, and
Right.
their attention span is so short from all the different screens that are open, and you don't know if they're actually paying attention to what you're saying. I know this audience is paying attention, but you don't know. So so that's really good. That's really good advice. Something short. And so I have one that I've been trying out lately, the Butts and Seats Blueprint, and it's just really a list of a picture of a flow of the different types of services we have and how they work together. And I know at the recent GKIC conference we were just at together at the Info Summit, Darcy Juarez did an amazing presentation on flow charts and how you can use those to show people that they don't just have to buy one service from you, but they can go down a path, and they're graduating to different levels. And I think that you can use that kind of a flow chart for handy information for clients as well. So for you, how to set up a perfect Facebook ad, what are the 5 steps, and you could have a graphic showing that. For me, how do you optimize a video in just 10 minutes, whatever it is, you think of something that's going to have a spicy title, as I like to say, and and that will sell. And then you test test different ones, and you test different pieces, and you can test different titles. And I think that B, C, D, E, F, G testing is the best way to figure out what's going to work.
Yes. You can think it's a great idea, but until you actually put it out and see if anybody accepts it or takes you up on the offer, that's what tells you if it's a great idea or not. And some of the ones that I thought were going to be wonderful turn out to bomb, and ones that I'd like, well, we need to have 3, and I've got 2. So what are we going to do for that last one? And you do something, that turns out to be the best one. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
where do I put in the other ones?
They just threw that together.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it can be surprising sometimes. It can be surprising which titles are going to attract them. I just did a YouTube campaign for someone recently, and it was for House Flipper for one of my clients, Alton Jones, and it was amazing because we did probably 6 or 7 different titles on the same webinar video ad, and the 2 that really came out the best were Find, Fund, and Flip Your Rehab. LA cop reveals his secrets, and the other one was something about Fire Your Boss. Find out from Elton John's blah blah blah. LA
Right.
cop, all of his makes and secrets that'll help you make profitable house flipping. I forget exactly how it went, but Fire Your Boss were the letters, were the words that really came out. So people like that. Apparently,
Yes.
people want to fire their boss. So it was good. Well, let's talk about how you've educated yourself as an entrepreneur. And I don't know if people realize how much time actually needs to go into education to be successful at this, but I know myself, I've bought a lot of courses, and I know you have. So of all the courses that you've taken at these seminars, you buy them at the seminar, you come home and you take them, what have you found to be the most helpful in sharpening your skills?
The one that was the most helpful for me, actually, I didn't buy at one of the events. I bought it, but once you're a buyer, you buy from everywhere. But this is a person I discovered locally. She does some regional work, and she has an online course, and then she has a combination of an online course and a coaching to help you go through it. And the course is Speak to Sell, and it's Sue Henry is the coach that I worked with, and the value I got from her was incredible. It was just a fantastic course. She helped me put together not only a signature talk that I can use, but also a email series to follow up with people. And I would send her the drafts, and she would rewrite them for me and come back. And let me tell you, I could almost not recognize what I had sent in. I'm like, oh yeah, I used that part and that part, but the wording she used was altogether different. And
you couldn't take any credit.
I just a little bit of credit, but it was a fabulous. That was probably the most valuable course that I've taken in the recent past. There is many others. It's a never-ending. As you know, in the digital marketing world or the online world, things change, and just to keep up to date with what's going on, I'm constantly listening to podcasts, new courses that I'm buying, and getting through them and then implementing them. I have yet to never get all of my money back many times over as long as I've implemented a course. And I've got 2, which I can see from here, that I haven't even opened yet. So I've got those to work through yet.
Yeah, I've got one copywriting course that I need to dig into from Dan Kennedy. And you have to. Usually, I implement things right away, and that's really interesting that you said that your first course was Speak to Sell from somebody else, other than the. So I bought the Speak to Sell course from Lisa Sasevich, and I found that to be very helpful. But the one that I think I got the most from, the absolute most from, was her Event Profit Secrets course. So, because I was putting on an event and it ended up being really small, 3 people, and as I've told you, was probably 6,000 in at the beginning, where people paid to come for 3 days, 3 people. But the back services I was able to sell was right now over 25,000 and counting. I have more projects coming in. It'll probably be over 50,000 from just that event in the back end services. So I followed that thing to a T, and I listened to it probably 10 times. And you know what that's like. I
I
was
do.
gonna put it on. I'm like, I'm even copying her intro speech, and it was amazing. So,
Yep.
yeah, I love when you can have a success story from a course. So, thank you so much. But that is interesting though. Totally different speak to sell course.
Yes, it is. And I'm not sure how long this one's been on the market. It's been on the market quite a while. So, but yeah.
So
And I
someone
got
copied
the
someone
coaching.
maybe here.
Yep. The coaching is what made the difference in that particular course. That I had the one-on-one coaching is what really made the difference
Right.
for that. So,
Exactly.
so
A lot of times it's nice to talk to the expert. That's true.
yep, yep. And then have them
All
give you
right,
feedback.
let's.
So the probably the most valuable peer course that I bought was the Ultimate Marketing Machine. I bought that 3 or 4 years ago. When the first launch of that from GTIC came out, it was an incredible course. I'm using that one. I've got it pretty much fully implemented in my business now, and that's been an extremely valuable course for that one.
It's phenomenal.
Mhm.
Trying to think of which one I have that has the word ultimate in it. I have the referral machine one that I found incredible too.
Mhm.
Actually, that makes me want to listen to it again. All right, so I'm going to ask, the next question is going to be on, well, we've talked about the courses. Are there any books that you're reading right now that you'd like to recommend?
Sure. There's two that I'm working through. I actually usually end up having nowadays 3 or 4 going on, depending on what I've got. Both of these are on how to persuade people. I'm working on copy and different things, but there's a book, Contagious, by Jonah Berger. It is. I've got it here, so I just took it down to make sure I got his last name right. But it talks about why messages are shareable and what makes the difference between, why are people sharing stories about Ziploc bags um, for it. But there's a certain formula he's identified, and it's not what you necessarily expect. So that's been an extremely
Yeah.
good read and valuable. And then the other one that I've been reading and I've worked through it on and off is Influence by Robert Cialdini. Is a great book also
Mhm.
about how to convince people or influence people to buy something from you or about how to influence people. And I also find myself wondering, well, how people influence me. I bought a new car recently, and I'm like, so now how did the salesman get me to do that? I'm analyzing backwards what he did. So and it was
Oh,
nothing.
they've got a system.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was nothing special?
It didn't seem like
You
it.
didn't buy it 'cause just you like the guy? Did you already know you wanted that particular car?
No, I didn't.
What did you end up getting?
Toyota Avalon.
Oh, I like those.
So nice cars.
Is it good so far?
It's a great car so far. I like it a lot. Yep. So
Toyota makes a long-lasting car. Yeah, you've got the long legs, so you really need to have a bigger car like
I
that.
like the bigger cars. Yes.
That's true. Let's see here. So I want to know, what is the next biggest thing coming up in Facebook for
The
us
next,
entrepreneurs and lead generation?
sure. The next biggest thing, and this is the next thing might be a few. This I'm introducing it to you, but it's going to be a few months away before it really gets to be common knowledge. Is Facebook Messenger. Facebook has started it, depending on where your Facebook page is. Most pages have it now. Is where you can actually make a post, encourage people to message you, and then when they message you, they get added to your list. You can actually build a subscriber list of people from Facebook Messenger, and you can broadcast to them, or you can communicate with them one-on-one. We have only dabbled in it a little bit so far, but the results so far are very promising. People, when they're talking on Messenger, are ready to respond right away. It's not like we send an email and you're going to get an answer 20 minutes later or an hour later or 12 hours later. When someone messages you on Facebook Messenger, most times they're expecting an answer and they're ready to answer. So from reports I've heard, people have been getting some great response with that. Um, it's it's been different than either texting or email so far, and so far the results are looking promising. How's that? But it's too early. I mean, this has been like 4 to 6 weeks old, so it's way too early to know. And I have a call with somebody tomorrow afternoon about how to possibly start automating it. But again, that's also new. That information is so speculative yet. What's going to happen? I predict it's going to be a good medium for quite a while. So that's the
So
newest up.
basically, this is from the ad, the Facebook ad, you are encouraging them to message you.
Message you with Facebook Messenger. Yes.
Okay.
And
And so
so
they
then,
can click on something and they can just send you a message.
yep, when they click on something and just message, it'll bring up the link, and they'll just, when they hit send or enter, instead of posting to Facebook, it'll send you a message. And you can either answer on your
Perfect.
phone or online. Yep. So it's
That's
really,
awesome.
slick. I've been targeted by some, and I love going through them and seeing how it all works. So it's, and we sent some out. So
That's
yeah, they've been good.
perfect. Hmm. Okay, so let's see. So is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Was there
The
one
other
more thing on Facebook?
On Facebook, the other thing to do, I would encourage people, and you use this, so I see you doing this, but Facebook Live is another one that's been
Oh yeah.
video on Facebook has been very good. Facebook Live, that's been out a little while now, so it's not as new, but it's still new, and it's still hard to get people to just do it. Some of my clients we've talked about, and some of the staff people, they're excited about it, but when it comes time to actually push that button and go live, they have a struggle with that. So
Nervous.
they're nervous. They're nervous. So uh,
Oh, well, the first one's always the worst one, you know?
it is. It
So,
is.
like this interview. No, just kidding.
That's right.
One of my first Great Minds, Great Marketing interview. You'll come back again on the show when it's even better. This is a fantastic interview to start, especially with the content that you're helping out with. So I think it's phenomenal. But just know that when I invite you back, we'll always be improving, like everything else in business, right?
That's right.
Uh,
Yes,
let's so So Facebook Live, what I find, to go back to that topic, what I find people are not doing on Facebook Live is they are, and this is like with any marketing, and it drives me crazy, is that they don't have a call to action. And so they don't realize that right before you press the button to go live, you have an opportunity to tell people what the video is about. So I did a Facebook Live today, so if anyone wants to look me up, I'm Erica Merrill DELSIGNORE, DELSIGNORE on Facebook. You can see on my personal page, you can go to the Daily Lead Campaign page and see it. But what I have is a link so that people can sign up for this webinar. And so if I taught, like this video is going to be about my upcoming Great Minds, Great Marketing interview with Brian Hahn, who's a Facebook lead generation expert. And here's the link. It's today at 2 o'clock. And so they can actually click on that link. But most people just go on and they talk about something. They'll talk about something that's going on in their business, which is great. And people are going to get to know, like, and trust them, which, there's a lot, that's worth a lot for people to get to know, like, and trust you, because people don't buy from you if they don't know, like, and trust you. People don't refer to you if they don't know, like, and trust you. But it's also nice to get those leads and get people to do what you need them to do. And if you don't have something coming up, you can always offer your free your free flow chart, whatever it is. You can do a free book, free video series, but always have something that's really valuable that you can give away. So that's what I find with Facebook Live, because you can fill events, and I can see that lots of people are viewing that video on Facebook, which that's worth a ton, and you get to do it for free. So why not?
and if you want to boost it, there's a way to target your boosted post to
Yes.
who you want to see it. I mean, for $20, you
Yes.
can go a long ways for that. If you're promoting an event or anything that's got any value, if you can't redeem a $20 investment, you got to look at what you're doing.
Exactly. So I think I got like 1,000 views on one of those live posts because I did a $5 investment.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's something.
Yep. Yep.
So we'll have to talk more about that, like, exactly how to do that. But I agree with you. I think Facebook Live is a big deal. Wasn't it that Mike Sedola said, he's someone from GKIC, said that every time they did a Facebook Live, they got a few more people sign up for their boot camp
Yep.
coming up.
Yep. And they were doing them daily, so they were getting them, for, like I said, it's free. Just a little bit of time, and it was free. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
good.
free.
With that, the larger your audience is, though, on Facebook already, the more people it reaches. Now, you don't have to have a large audience to get started, but as your audience grows, your reach grows. So if you've got 100,000 likes on your Facebook page, you're going to get more than if you got 10,000, which you're going to get more if you get 1,000. Facebook knows you have a built-in
Right.
audience, and so it just goes out. So when you're first getting started and you've got 100, likes on your page or 100 followers, you might get 100 or 200 views. Well, it's still twice as many people as you've got likes. So it's a good all-around tool to grow. It's a good tool to grow.
How do you suggest people grow those company pages with likes?
With likes, your best bet is to sure. I will, in the edited version, I will give you. I have a form we put together. There's 22 ways to grow your Facebook likes. It's something we haven't used for a little while, so I don't have a landing page ready for me or for you. Some of the fastest ways to do it are to invite your Facebook fans from your personal page, or your Facebook friends from your personal page. You can upload your email contacts to it and do that. So those are two free ones right away to expand the reach of where you're at. And every time you get a like, you are exposed to their friends or their friends. So every like is worth much more than one like. So those are some of the basic ones. And then after that, it depends if you want to use paid. Every time you run a paid ad, you're going to get more likes. Every time you do a Facebook Live presentation, you're going to get more likes. And it'll grow. And at first, it's going to seem awfully slow. When you're starting a business page, what happens is first is you see your family. It's you and your family, and then your extended family, and then your friends. And then when you're starting to see more successes, you don't know the person that's liking you. Go, oh, yes, I'm finally getting there. It's not my sister's friend that did this. They're not connected in any way. And it kind of evolves out of there.
My mom's not asking for my book.
Yeah. So yes, as we're
yeah,
building.
Mom, I'll give you that autograph. It's not worth any money in the bank, but thanks.
So yes.
Oh my God. All right. Well, that's good. So let's just review those 3 steps. You said one of them is you can message your current friends to get them to like your page.
Correct.
And the second one, you're not a little bit. Your personal email lists.
Your personal email list or your business email list, either one. You can actually upload a list from Constant Contact, MailChimp, any business list you can upload to your page, but you can also take all of your personal contacts and upload them into Facebook, and Facebook will invite them to like your page for you.
Oh, really? Okay. So that's something similar with LinkedIn. You can do that as well. You can upload a spreadsheet, and you can ask all those people to link in with you. So that's really good. That's great information to have, actually. So export those lists and import them into Facebook, and you can grow those business page likes. Just have to, have a nice little note to write to people that is not too salesy.
Right.
And yeah, I think that's phenomenal. It's great advice. And what was number 3?
The number 3 was Facebook Live if you're going to do it organically, but then every time you run an ad, if you haven't liked the page yet, Facebook's going to have up on the right-hand side of the ad a button that you can like the page, and your likes will grow if you're running Facebook ads just because of people seeing your page name out there. So it will grow automatically, even without running a like ad. You can also, if you have a use for Facebook likes, and by the way, people that have liked you on Facebook tend to respond to your offers better. In almost every market we're in, there's a couple where that's not true, but for the most part, the people that have liked your business page will respond more readily to an offer that you make. And I don't care if it's an offer for a lead magnet or if it's an offer for an item to sell. They'll will respond better most of the time. So growing those likes, sometimes there is a worthwhile reason to grow those likes.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, that's really great information. You're really bringing in up the big guns today. Let's see here. So the last thing I wanted to ask you before we go to a question and answer period is, what do you have to offer for the audience today? Is there anything up and coming that you'd like to talk about within your business? Anything that you think they might find helpful that they can go and get from you?
Sure. I do have something ready that we're doing, or that we've done, is to profit on Facebook. It's more than just putting out an ad and people buy from you. That does work, and you will get some response from it. But the real money, that's only a small percentage of the market. The real money comes with follow-up. And there's a system to putting follow-up, there's a process for putting follow-up together on Facebook. It's not that hard and it's not that expensive, but there are certain steps to it. And I created a Facebook marketing masterclass that goes over the different steps. There's 5 steps in it, and it's a video series that you will get. And you'll get a video every day for 5 days is what it amounts to. And to get to it, if you go to GoSocialExperts.com, my website, /masterclass, they're going to ask you for your email address. You'll get the first video right away. Tomorrow you'll get the next video, the day after the next video, and so on until the 5 days are gone. And it'll give you an idea of what it takes to put together a system to profit on Facebook.
That's great. Thank you so much. I know that our audiences are going to really enjoy that video series. I don't know if you want to share the 5 steps just real shortly with us, or if you just want us to keep the mystery in it and go grab your course.
I'll let you find. You need to go grab your course and find out what's in there. But the 5 steps are, first of all, creating your sales-oriented business page. What's in your business page? The next one is targeting your ideal customers, and then you are looking to deliver value before you ask for anything. Then you're asking for getting their contact information. It's like going to a networking event and leaving without business cards or any contact information of any kind. You don't want to do that. You do want to get their contact information. And by the way, that's where that lead magnet comes in. And then the last one is just make the sale. What are you going to do what do you sell them something is what I call the last one. So. And
I'm sure there's a lot of great details within each of those steps. I just kind of wanted to know a little bit more about what you were doing with that. So that I really appreciate you sharing it.
Yes, and that same process works on Facebook. It works on LinkedIn. It works on any social media that you're looking at doing.
Yes, absolutely it does. Let's see. All right. I am going to start asking people if they would like to have some questions answered. So I see all you have to do is go down to you can either raise your hand if you guys know how to do that. There's a button right here you can see, and I'll see your hand raised, or you can chat with me and we can find out who is asking questions. Do we have any questions for Brian today about how to drive leads using Facebook? I don't see any coming up yet. What's the #1 question you get?
How much time does it take? It's probably the #1 question and the #1 objection I got to overcome. That's not a tremendous time suck where you're not going to get any response back. But not even that, if you're going to get the response back, how much time is it actually going to take to manage all of this and make it happen?
And what's the answer to that question?
Depends how involved you want to be. It takes more up front. Once you get it set up and running and you've got your messaging dialed in, it takes a minimal amount of time. You're probably looking at 15 or 20 minutes a day at the most once you get it set up. The setup time, on the other hand, depending on how elaborate you want, if it's just one ad, it's one thing. But if it's 3 ads that are all running in conjunction with each other and you're building landing pages in the middle of it all, then it's a longer process. I mean, you could have 10, 12, 20, 30, 40 hours involved in setting it up. Once it's up and running, it doesn't take long. It's very minimal. Review the numbers, see if anything's changed, if it's gotten worse or better, and making some adjustments is a daily thing, a couple times a day, but that's not very long.
All right, so we got 2 questions here.
Sure.
Okay, so people were writing in the questions page and not the chat section. So, Brian, would you give us a link to that Facebook Masterclass again?
Sure. Can you type it back? Can you type it in the chat? Can I do that or not?
I can. I don't know if you can. I can type it right here.
See, it's sure I can. It's GoSocialExperts.com and then the /masterclass.
Okay. guys see that? Sent to all. There we go. So that question is answered. Anything else, guys? Let me see if I go back over here. Denise. Maria, do you have a question? Go to questions. Oh, she just asked me a question. Hold on a second. Oh, she was just commenting earlier when I was trying to get people to go to see if they could see us. So that's good. Well, I have to say this has been an incredibly great content-filled interview, and I think that everyone's going to walk away with some great ideas on what they should do on Facebook to get more leads. And certainly, if they don't want to do it themselves, I know that you can do it for them. And if they do want to do it themselves, but they want a little help, you can do it with them. There's that program. And then I know that you've also got just a course, which is for do-it-yourselfers. So information for all of those is on the website, right? Go Social Experts.
GoSocialExperts.com, and at the bottom there's actually going to be links that are similar wording to what you just said to each page.
Perfect.
So that'll be an easy way.
It's like I work for you.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think it's been great to have you here. Thank you very much for coming on. I will just remind everybody that we are going to have more interviews just like this with incredible experts just like Brian coming up in the future on Great Minds, Great Marketing. And a little plug for myself, if you are interested in figuring out how to get more leads out of LinkedIn or out of your video marketing, those are things that we do. So please, just contact me on dailyleadcampaign.com. You get my contact information there. And in editing, I'll have it up on the screen as well. So there'll be a place for you to go. And also, if you'd like to get my new book, 7 Sizzling Secret Video Marketing Tactics, I've got that there as well. Or whatever new book I'm selling at the time, I'll probably change those links as the newest ones come out. But this book is free, so you can go ahead and take advantage of that by going to the free stuff tab. All right. Thank you very much for coming on the show today. I'm really excited about the information that you were able to share with us, and I know we're all going to benefit from it in the long run, and hopefully in the short run if we got some real implementers out there that are listening. So thanks again, Brian. We really appreciate having you today.
You're welcome. It was great being here, Erica.
All right. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.